Welcome back, gamers, to another Gamer Jooce episode. You know we always get straight on into the content, and it is no different today. 10 Spacebase Startopia Facts. Number 10. It's an all-new take on a cult classic. Kicking off our list of the top 10 facts about the new and exciting Spacebase Startopia, we have this exciting tidbit. Spacebase Startopia is an unofficial sequel. The first and original Startopia came out in 2001. If you're not familiar with Startopia and the wild year to video games that was 2001, Startopia was a unique game that never really kicked off. Despite being well loved, it only sold about 110,000 copies. It was made by Mucky Foot Productions as opposed to this new game, Spacebase Startopia, which is being developed by Realm Forge Studio. So, it's the year 2001. The same year the iconic Halo gave the world a glimpse of what a station or a ring world could look like. Startopia followed up on that legacy and improved on it by allowing players to repurpose their space bases. Number 9. What is it about? Now, for our next fact, we're going to talk about Spacebase Startopia and its content. The new Spacebase Startopia is about managing your very own space station. In a few short words, it's a space empire building strategy and simulation game with some remarkable combat thrown in. There's a total of 3 different deck types available, and you have to try to attract visitors to your space base, try to see to their needs, all while battling enemy invaders. We never said the game was easy, but it's a fun challenge. Your 3 decks can accommodate 8 different alien races. All 3, of course, require concentration and superb leadership skills. You'll find that the sub-deck has all the rooms with the means for survival and taking care of basic needs. The fun deck is more for visitors. And lastly, the bio deck provides resources for the flora and fauna resources and provides a home for the dryads. You can be a total boss in the intense single-player campaign and the battle mode, or you can join up with up to 4 friends in the competitive and cooperative multiplayer modes. However, this is just the beta. When it's fully released, it's expected that Spacebase Startopia will feature a 10-mission single-player campaign. It will be the same idea. You're the commander of the Spacebase Startopia. Number 8. Things in common with the original. The publisher certainly isn't the common factor between these 2 games. What the original Startopia and Spacebase Startopia share is the concept. Again, the makers did call in this new take of the 2001 cult classic, and they've respected the first game's legacy. The developers at Realm Forge Studios kept the same lighthearted humor, comical overtone, and cartoon-like aliens. The basic premise remains the same, though. Balance the needs and wants of all the different alien species wandering around your station. The original Startopia had a ton of pop culture references, and Spacebase Startopia is expected to be no different. The entire game was dedicated to the memory of Douglas Adams, who was the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and passed away during the production of Startopia. But it also features references to Red Dwarf, the British science fiction comedy franchise, and more. Number 7. The developers. The new Spacebase Startopia is developed by Realm Forge Studios, which is located in Munich, Germany. If you recognize that name, it's because they're the same brilliant creators behind several things, including the Dungeons series, with the most recent title being Dungeons 3. Somewhat similar to Spacebase Startopia, Dungeons 3 follows a dark elf sorcerer on her quest to conquer her continent. It combines dungeon building with real-time strategy and has players building and defending an underground dungeon for creatures to call home. Number 6. The estimated playtime. One of the first questions gamers ask about a game is how long is the playtime, or how long is the main campaign? For Spacebase Startopia, it's estimated that the main campaign, as revealed by the developers, might be a little over 20 hours. This of course depends on the player's skill level and style, and this doesn't count in time spent exploring the sandbox mode, multiplayer, and the other aspects of the game. So far, Spacebase Startopia features a competitive and a cooperative mode, the sandbox we just spoke about, and a multiplayer mode, which can accommodate up to 4 players. Number 5. What makes it so unique? What really sets this game apart is the combat and strategy aspects. Because it features a real-time strategy, it draws in to become more invested in your space base. The combat part comes in when you have to defend your station, the one you've put in hours building, from malicious pirates and tourist competition. When you're building rooms, the control can take a bit of time to figure out, but they're relatively easy. One of the many cool things is the different animations for the aliens you get. When you visit the disco, the aliens do a dance, and other stuff like that. Believe it or not, rubbish is a big part of the game. It keeps your station running. Even the rubbish bins are tiny robots that, when full, will walk over to the recycler and throw up all the rubbish. Recycled rubbish is used to generate more energy, and there are consequences to leaving it lying around. It will create a bad atmosphere and your guests will feel ill. That said, having sick guests will result in them going to your med station and you earning more money, so maybe don't always clear your rubbish right away. Knowing how to turn the environment of your station into something beneficial for your economy is incredibly important. If you've played for a while, then you know money is represented by energy, just like in the original Startopia. That means the more stuff you build, the more your energy is stretched thin. You can lose power if you don't figure out how to balance things correctly. When the call goes out and you need to go on the defense against competitors and pirates, you get to take direct control of mechs as the game brilliantly transforms from a building genre to an RTS-style gameplay. Number 4, the goal. This isn't The Sims, nor is it Minecraft or an FPS game. Spacebase Startopia completely stands out on its own. As awesome as the concept sounds, there actually aren't a lot of space management simulation games. Only a few that provide a legit and proper simulation experience are worth mentioning, and they're RimWorld and the newly released Space Haven, which is about a group of ragtag civilians on a space voyage as they search for a new place to call home. You get to build your spaceship by tile, organize the gas conditions, and try to keep up with the needs of the crew. Exploration and meeting other groups also occur, but in the end, Spacebase Startopia is entirely different. It's not just building and improving on your space base, nor is it just defending never-ending attacks and raids from enemies. One of Spacebase Startopia's goals is to make your space base a popular and thriving tourist and trade spot. That means you have to attract visitors, and you do that by helping them with their needs and whatever they want. You are not alone in space. You'll have competitors trying to destroy your work, but you can fight back by sabotaging their economy, and if push comes to shove, you can rain hell on them with your mech units. Just be careful of the shady space pirates that can board your station. Number 3, it's still in beta. There's so much content available for Spacebase Startopia that it's hard to believe it's still in closed beta. The beta has been active from the 19th of May 2020, and the game was expected to be fully released on the 23rd of October 2020. However, recently, Realm Forge Studio revealed that the full release has been pushed back to spring 2021. As we anxiously and excitedly await for the full release, we'll have to be happy with the content available to us. So, right now, the game currently has 3 tutorial maps, 2 missions available in total of the expected 10, and a skirmish mode with research level restriction and no enemy AI. These will take you hours to get through, or tide you over until its official release. Realm Forge Studios has also promised consistent updates, so new content is always uploaded. However, Spacebase Startopia Beta is considered a separate project, different from the main game. That means the 2 that are listed are separate applications in player's Steam library, which leads to the unfortunate fact that it's most likely that your progress might not carry to the fully released game next year. Number 2, about the soundtrack. This is a bit of a fun fact, but did you know that as a tribute and admiration of the original Startopia, Spacebase Startopia has kept in 50% of the original soundtrack? Number 1, Val. We saved the best for last. For our last point, we're going to introduce you to the dynamic assistant computer, Val. Val, who's a parody of Star Trek 2001 Space Odyssey's HAL, is the narrator to your journey. A snarky and charming as it is, the AI is very vital to your space station. It reacts to your decisions and introduces you to different alien races and caters to them. It can produce and trade goods. It can also invariably alert you of upcoming dangers of sabotage from your enemies and attack from space pirates. We admit that Val can be a little annoying at times. Sometimes it just seems to speak at the wrong time, but it's the whole point. Despite its attitude, we learn to love Valve's quirky charm. Alright gamers, we hope you enjoyed the list because that's going to wrap it up. If you did in fact watch the video all the way through, we appreciate you so much and hope you enjoyed it enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because we're always releasing more content. As always, we'll see you in the next one.